Annie.
Shante.
And I'm Jamika.
And we're the ladies of Off the Chain Mondays. We back in this thing.
Episode 8, you guys.
Episode 8.
Does that make you proud? Does that make you excited?
Yes.
Like me?
We are 2 episodes away
From 10.
from our 10th episode.
I am very proud.
Me too.
I want to give a shout out real quick to all our viewers and subscribers.
That be commenting when we have our discussions.
Even the ones
We
that just
love
watch.
you.
We love all y'all.
Yeah.
We really do. I love
Because without the comments, then we wouldn't really have any kind of interaction. It'd just be us talking.
Without the views.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So if you like us, tell a friend to tell a friend, and comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Share, comment.
Share.
We want to hear from you.
Share
We
the
still
video.
haven't got those confessions.
We
Right?
We trying to do a confession segment, but we can't do it without y'all confessing.
Nobody really. I mean, you can do it
put
anonymously.
anything- right? Nobody put anything in the link. We might need to post it again so somebody can.
We'll post it
Yeah.
again for y'all so that y'all can do some confessions.
Because I ain't got no more confessions, I don't think. I'll be saying
I'm an open book, so
yeah. I might just say one that they ain't even know on the show. Just be like, oh shit, y'all didn't even know that, right?
right.
Just normal conversation.
Yeah, we need to spell it out.
What we
Well-
talking about this week?
You want to headline that?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I'm just playing.
Oh,
We got a lot of stuff today. We're talking about. I think our first topic that we're going to talk about is Black women going to the doctor and feeling like they're not being listened to, I guess, in a sense. So that's one
is that a
topic.
thing?
Apparently, we took a poll. We took a poll on it, so.
And you also found an article, right?
And I found.
I mean, to be honest with you, until you
and
shared
then
that,
there
I
was
never
a
really
video.
thought about that.
No, and there was a video also. Maybe it was the video that was in the article.
Yeah, it was
Of the
together.
doctor. Yeah.
The Indian doctor.
The Indian doctor actually admitting
That he don't take Black women seriously.
exactly. And just in a
until
normal
you-
conversation.
Yeah, until you shared that, I actually never really thought about, that being the reason why, because I'm a Black woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, after thinking about it, it's like, do I have, pushback when it comes to me?
With certain things that you say. It's so like you gotta keep repeating yourself for them to finally realize instead of when you say it one time it's like, okay.
I feel like what it is like they're not taking it
Yeah,
serious.
they're not.
And I wonder why.
Pregnant Black women just when you feel like something is wrong with you, they don't take that it's just a lot of things. It's not only being pregnant, it's just,
Well, let's see. We did take a poll.
yeah, we did take a poll.
Now let me see how I can find the results, because y'all know I'm slow. I'm worth waiting
You know what?
on.
I might have to look.
It
for
should be on the page.
Yeah, it is on the page. That's
I think it was like 28 people voted.
All right, let's see here.
okay, so
You found it? I found it.
okay,
I think I found it.
It should be on there.
Here
There
it
you
is.
go.
Wow. 86% of our voters said yes, they've experienced this.
Wow.
That's a huge percentage.
It's not even 50. A whole 80.
86% of Black
So
women
14%.
said no, they never experienced it.
That's
My
a lot of
thing is-
percentage either way, because 14% could have been a few people. That's a lot of percentage that.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's a big gap there. So my thoughts on it, well, I'll explain exactly what the video was talking about, the article. Basically, what it was saying is these doctors that we're basically paying, because we pay health insurance, we pay co-pays, we pay for medicine, we pay for everything just like everybody else does. But for some reason, when we go to the doctors are not taking our health concerns serious. So for instance, if you notice, I don't know, a splotch on your skin. Now this is your skin that you've been in your whole life. Now all of a sudden you got a splotch that was never there before. You go to the doctor to get it treated, and the doctor tells you, oh, it's just a splotch. It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. But I know my body. And my body is telling me that this is not normal, and I'm expressing to you as a health professional
Right.
that this is what's going on, and you're not taking me serious.
Or like you feel a bump on the side of your boob, and they're like, oh, you could be too young for breast cancer.
You know what? That's the first experience I had with it. To be honest with you, when I was 16, I watched this Lifetime movie, and the girl in the movie was giving herself a breast exam. She was young. She was like 14 or 15, but her mother had breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So she was giving herself a breast exam. So my dumb ass, I got in the shower, and I was like, I'm going to give myself a breast exam. So I'm in there like this, and lo and behold, I find lumps. So I told my mom. She felt it. She was like, that doesn't feel normal, so we'll go ahead and take you to the doctor. When we went to the doctor, they said, oh, it's not that big of a deal. She's growing, so she's going to have lumps. I said, yeah, but these don't feel like normal. Like, these feel different than my regular breast tissue.
Right.
Oh, but you're still young. Your body's going to change, blah, blah, blah. My mother said, well, I think she should have a mammogram. She's way too young for a mammogram. We're not going to do that. My mother had to put her foot down. Good thing I had a mother who could put her foot down.
Right.
Because at 16, I didn't know how to do that for myself.
Right.
But she put her foot down and was like, no, y'all going to go in and y'all going to find out what the hell is in my child.
Right.
Exactly.
When they did an ultrasound, oh, you don't say, it's masses there. 2 of them.
And they were just going to dismiss it.
And they were going to just dismiss it. I ended up at 16 having a biopsy done on 2 lumps in my breast. And I have a history of breast cancer in my family. So the fact that they weren't taking that serious, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when that happened, did you think at the time, like, oh, it's because I'm a black female?
I thought
at
the time, with the 2 instances that it's happened to me, both times I thought it was because I was young. Because it happened when I was 16, and then it happened again when I was in my 20s. I had Aaliyah. She was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I took her to the doctor and complained of some things that I had seen.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, listen, you're a new mother, so I get that things can be a little dramatic. And from that conversation, I was like, my child is never coming back to this pediatrician. I found another pediatrician who addressed my concerns. Anytime to this day, I have the same pediatrician for my kids, because I know that when I go to him and I say,
he's going to take it serious.
He's going to take me serious,
Yeah.
and he's going to give me the referrals that I need. Anything that I need, I can go to that doctor for.
Because if it doesn't end up being something, then it's better safe than sorry.
Exactly.
Right.
But if it is something and you don't take it serious and you could have caught it, because that kind of like happened to me, but as an adult. Like, because, you know, I don't know. I don't really like doctors. I don't like the fact that they, you know, try to pump you up with a bunch of drugs. I don't like drugs.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
If I can find a natural way.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
I'm gonna take that route instead of taking a pill.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't like any of that. But when I found out I had the tumor on my uterus, I had to go back to my doctor 4 times before they decided to do an ultrasound. But the thing is, I didn't think of it as like because I'm a black female, because she was black. She was a black female. So I didn't think of it as like,
And
it's
the thing
because
is,
I'm a
those
black
be
female.
the worst ones sometimes, because they will,
Like, I was over exaggerating.
Yeah,
like,
they
like you're
over-exaggerate.
fine.
Yeah.
Stop coming back. You're fine.
Exactly.
Da-da-da. I'm like, yeah,
Well, you
but
know
this
what I
don't.
found
You know what I'm
funny?
saying? Like, this is not normal. Like, I know my body. I know I feel something here. Like, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, this is the body that I've been in for 30 plus years.
But
You
I
cannot
found
tell
funny,
me.
I don't even think like black women is as exact. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but as exaggerated as white women, because I feel like a lot of them.
But maybe that's why they don't take us serious then.
because that's an assumption that people have.
Basically, I think it could be one of 2 things. The first thing that I think it could be is they feel like we ain't got the money for whatever we need treatment for.
Maybe.
That's what I feel like. I feel like they look at us like
that could be
that broke black whatever. She probably
she
ain't
can't
even got no.
afford this. She probably don't even got health care
Or whatever. Even if they know, well, they know by the time they see us that we have health insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
But they still could be saying to themselves, because there's a lot of things that you have to come out of pocket cost for.
Yeah.
She probably ain't got the money to cover that.
So we're not going to even get into that.
We ain't even going there with her. She knows she ain't got no money, and we're not about to sit here and waste all this time running these tests, and then we're not going to get paid. So I think that might be one reason. And then I think the other reason kind of ties into what you were saying, where women of other races may be a little bit more dramatic, and being that we take on a lot more, I feel like we as black women, we handle pain better, we handle struggle better. So by the time we go to the doctor, it's probably something that's already been ongoing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we don't wake up in the morning and say, I think I'm going to go to the doctor today. We ain't got no money for that. We ain't got no money for that. Let's be real.
Well, we're not gonna speak for everybody.
But most people, you don't have the money to just run to the doctor for a cough.
Statistics on that, because we don't know like people's income. But if you have something that's wrong with you, or you feel like there's something abnormal going on with your body,
But
you
that's
should still
just
take
how
it
they
serious.
see us
regardless.
as.
I'm not saying that the way they see us is the actual case, because it's not. It's
true.
not. As a doctor, they're going to treat us according to a textbook, because that's what they learned on. They go, everything's a textbook, whatever. Sometimes you ever go to a doctor and they look at you and say, oh, this is what's wrong with you? Well, then you ain't run that damn test. How the hell you know? How you know?
I ain't never had nobody do that.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
I have.
They just go by symptoms. And,
Yeah, they
yeah.
ask you what your symptoms are, and then they tell you, oh, this is what's wrong with you, X, Y, and Z. Oh, you're vomiting, you got dizziness. Oh, you're dehydrated. Oh, you got this going on. Oh, it's a stomach virus. Oh, you got this going on. Like, they, based off of your symptoms, they already diagnosed with what's going on with you. In my opinion, I don't like when they do that, because everybody does not follow a textbook.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean that there's something, wrong or different with me. It just means that I'm not following the cookie cutter mold that was set forth for you.
Well,
in medical
everybody's
school.
different. Yeah.
And you
Exactly.
know what I hate with it? Okay, let's see if this works. If not, come back. So you're not even really
I'm
figuring
a
it
guinea
out.
pig.
Exactly.
I'm a whole
And they do
guinea
that
pig.
a lot. And with Jameer, I'd be like, no, you're not going to just be like, let's figure this out and come back if it worsens. No, because my child is like 2 years old, and we're not going to figure something out with him. You're going to figure it out, take a test, whatever, and then we're going to say, okay, this is what's wrong. Because they like to do that, even like with Jameer, like when he had the flu, they didn't even do the whole flu test. I'm like, this is more than just a regular thing with Jameer. Like, he's not sleeping, like it's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, can y'all do tests on him and not just say, oh, take this and come back if it worsens? No, you're not gonna give my son some medication. First of all, I don't even know what this medication is.
Exactly.
You're gonna give it to him and say, come back. No,
No.
I'm not giving him that and we're coming. No, you're gonna
My
figure
child
it
is not a
out.
lab rat.
Exactly. You're gonna figure
I'm
it
not
out.
a lab rat.
Even when I was pregnant, like I had to change doctors. Like I had a Spanish doctor when I first found out I was pregnant, and I was like, I can't do this lady. Like I would be like, oh, I'm having like take this medication. I'm like, what? Why are you always trying to give me medications and I'm pregnant? First of all, these medications is like risky to pregnant people when I look them up, because I look up every medication. If I don't know what it is, like from just seeing it, I'm looking it up. And when I'm seeing the effects, I'm like, you're not prescribing me this, and I'm gonna just say, okay, I'm gonna take it, and hopefully this works. I'm like, no. So I had changed my doctor, and I personally asked for. I was like, I either can get a black doctor or I want a doctor from the Caribbean. Not because it's just a lot of time with experience with them, they kind of look into you a little bit more than other doctors. So I had a black, and she was Jamaican. And I was like, but
I cannot. Oh God.
But I'm just saying, like, she was actually good, like everything. And then I know a lot of people that had her as an OB too as well, and she was good. Like everything I went. I mean, she had me go to the doctor so many times, but it was needed because she was actually looking out for my pregnancy.
Right.
Not like, okay, you're okay. Like it was days that I didn't even feel like nothing was wrong and something was wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like she did those extra tests because I had a crazy test a couple of months ago, and every time I came in, she did that extra test. Just
to make sure.
Just to make sure, like I had protein in my urine, which is not good. And I had like signs of preeclampsia. And it's like all kinds of stuff that I didn't even know that was going on. When she did all those tests, she was like, something is off. I'm gonna do a test. Like I didn't, like my blood pressure was high, and she's like, okay, I'm doing this extra test. You gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, did you send me to the hospital so many times? But at least she was looking out for me a lot more than the other doctor that I had, because that lady wasn't sending me nowhere. She was like, okay, you good. So I was like, I had a good pregnancy. And then when I went into like before my third trimester, I was like, I need to change the doctor, because this lady, I'm telling her like I can't sometimes feel my leg and all types of stuff, and this lady is like, it's okay, it's normal in pregnancy. I'm like, bitch, my whole right leg is numb. My whole leg is numb. I literally have to walk for it to like, how are you telling me it's okay?
It's not okay.
I'm like, nah. So I went to this doctor. She was like, I mean, it wasn't like crazy, but then they went into that extra steps and was like, okay, he's on a nerve that's making your leg feel numb.
Probably
on
a
one side.
sciatic nerve.
Yeah, my sciatic nerve. So it was like, she went into it a little bit more than her, because she was just like, you good. I don't know. Maybe you just got to find the right doctor, and not all doctors.
Well, you do have to find the right doctor.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall.
It's not right to,
Oh, I mean, of course it's not right. But at the end of the day, these doctors are looking out for their own wallets. They're looking out for their pockets.
Which goes against their oath. Don't they take an oath?
Yeah, they take an oath.
I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, they take an oath. That's why this is something that's kind of hush-hush. And to be honest, like, I don't think it happens, like I said, I don't think it happens just on our doctor visits. Like, even with having kids. I had a whole DCF case because the boys broke out in this rash, right? And I looked at the rash and I was like, I don't know what that is. Took them to the pediatric center. The same night, like they came home from school, I gave them dinner, gave them a bath, and took them to the nighttime pediatrics place. Mm-hmm. Nighttime pediatrics place said, it's no big deal, put this cream on it, they'll be fine in a couple days. So I'm like, okay, do they stay home from school with this medicine? Like, how does it work? No, at this point, once you actually, it's called hand, foot, mouth, ass, fire, whatever the fuck. Anyway, so that's it. So,
hand, foot, mouth, ass.
By the time you actually see the rash, it's no longer contagious, supposedly. So I was like, okay, so I rubbed them down with the cream, and I sent the tube of cream to the nurse's office because I think they had to do it like 2 or 3 times a day or whatever. So once in the morning, once at school, and once when they come home at night. Sent them to school. 2 days later, they come back, and the rash is not just a rash. It's boils at this point. Like, it done bubbled up into sores. And I mean, it was all over them. It was huge. So at this point now, I'm freaking out. So I take them back to the doctor.
I never heard that with the hand, foot, mouth.
Me neither. So I took them back to the doctor. And the doctor was like, no, it's the hand, foot, mouth. I was like, yeah, but look at their skin now.
Right.
It wasn't like that when I brought them in. Yeah, sometimes they could do that if they have a history of keloid skin. I said, but they don't have a history of keloid skin. Well, keloid skin is common in people of color. Bitch, I didn't come here to ask you about people of color. I came here to find out why the hell a regular ass rash turned into boils. That's what I came here.
Skin is common in people of color, so it just automatically means my.
So she's giving you a generalized textbook answer as opposed to actually testing them out to find out what's going on.
Exactly. And
So,
the thing is,
at this point though, I'm like, okay,
they do.
this is what they're telling me. I'm listening to a doctor, a medical professional. They gave them a release note to go back to school. So I sent them to school with the release note. 2 days later, DCF knocks on my door. We're here to investigate because of medical negligence. I said, who medically negligent? Who kids are we talking about? Well, we talking about your sons, Aiden and Adrian. Yeah, Aiden and Adrian, what about them? Medically negligent how? What happened?
Right.
Well, they said the school called us. We can't tell you who. It's anonymous. But the school called us to let us know that your sons have been in school with this rash all over their skin and you haven't taken them to the doctor. I said, hold that note. I went in my room and I got a copy because I keep copies of everything. I got a copy of everything from the doctor that they had given me, and I gave him a bottle of medicine. I was like, this is what the doctor told me to do.
Right.
And he said, did you give all these papers to the school? I said, yes, I did. He said, I'm dropping the case, but you need to find out what's wrong with your sons. At that point, I said, okay, fine. I took them to Nemours, the children's hospital. As soon as I walked in the door with them, they quarantined us. I didn't even get to, you sit out in a lobby and you fill out your paperwork.
Yeah.
No, they put us in a whole separate room away from everybody. They was like, we don't know what this is. This could be a staph infection. They gave me a whole list of like all these deathly things that could be wrong with them.
And they were just taking it like, keloid.
Yeah, because y'all black, so y'all skin bubble up. What? What are you talking about? I never had bubbled up skin a day in my life.
Bubbled up skin.
I never had that shit. What you talking about? Like everybody of color is not susceptible to keloid skin. So I ended up having to take them to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist did some skin grafts, like the fucking doctor should have from the beginning.
Exactly.
They did skin grafts on them and found out that it was hand, foot, and mouth. But my boys are also like when they go out in the sun, they get rashes. so they get heat rash. They can't go to the pool without sunblock and a t-shirt on. Their skin breaks out. On their way home from school, being at these sores where this rash was exposed to the sun, that's why it blistered up. She gave me a medicine. I promise you, I gave them boys that medicine at night.
And it works.
When they woke up that morning, it looked like that shit didn't even exist.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the previous doctor.
No, fuck her. She was stupid.
I thought you were talking about the previous doctor. It got worse when you gave them the medicine.
But that was like my first inclination. Well, it wasn't my first because I had already had issues with having to explain to doctors because they say to you, oh, you're a young mom or you're a new mom. So, certain things are not normal to you because you're not aware. And I'm like, listen, you tell me whatever you want to tell me, but them kids came from my vagina. I know what the hell they look like when they came out.
Right.
So you're not about to tell me.
I know when there's something wrong and when something is right. Like, you just know that.
I know my child. I'm their mother. Don't nobody else know. Who the hell else going to tell me?
Right.
And even if there isn't anything wrong, you take
be
it
on the safe
serious.
side.
You take
You're going to get your money because I got health insurance.
I watch a lot of, shows, and the thing is, a lot of the shows that play on TV, like doctor shows, hospital shows, they be really showing, real life shit. Like, they would have people of color in the show and showing how they treat them. Because they're not real doctors anyway, so they will show how they treat them and, real life shit. You be like Grey's Anatomy. I watch The Good Doctor. They be showing you, how they treat black people, and they automatically put this,
it gotta be the money.
You talking about a series?
Yeah, but I'm saying you understand they'll put you in real real stories. You be like, damn, this shit really be going on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, scenarios that actually
that really happen. Yeah, with Arab people, how they treat them, they automatically think the whole doctor. This shit was funny though. The whole doctor was like, "Are you a terrorist?" Because she had a disease that some terrorists would have. And it's shit those kind of stories normally most likely happen in real health, because I dealt with a lot of stuff, and I'm not saying you kind of categorize them in certain things. When they pop up with certain oh shoot, they got this, they gotta be doing this.
Yeah,
you know
sickle cell. If you got sickle cell, you gotta be black. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
stuff like that, and they categorize,
Brian, don't call. You not allowed.
They categorize what?
They categorize black in a certain way. They categorize white in a certain way. They categorize everybody in a certain way. And I dealt with some, my share of being in the medical world, and they do that. I personally did that, not to the extent of a whole doctor wise. But, they kind of, okay, this person, the way they look.
I think we all, in a sense, prejudge people.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of doing that.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between prejudging somebody and not giving them the care that they deserve based off of the color of their skin.
Yeah.
That's when you move from being maybe a little bit prejudiced to downright racist.
Yeah.
Which that means that you don't even care about my life, bro.
Exactly. That's when you gotta, when it comes down to that,
I mean, when you're doing a job like that, it doesn't matter what your prejudgments are. If somebody comes to you with a concern, it's your job to analyze it and make sure that that person is okay. I don't know. I know me personally, if I feel like I went 5 times and you gonna give me this damn ultrasound.
5 times, that's extent.
It is.
For you to
Because I gotta pay you every time I come here for you to tell me there's nothing wrong with me.
Because I feel after I went the first time, you said boom, boom, boom. I'm coming the second time, bitch. You better do something at this point. Because I'm coming a second time.
Yeah, I'm not coming in here 2
I mean, the first couple times it was just a test. There was no they had to do a vaginal ultrasound after the last time. But even when I found out that I was anemic, that first visit I made sure that they did a scan or whatever, because I was having headaches, and I was having bad headaches every day. That ain't normal.
Right.
So I went in to the ER, and I'm telling them I'm having headaches every day. Well, how old are you? You give me age. Oh, it starts happening around that time. I said every day.
I can't.
It's normal for somebody my age to have headaches every day. No. Like, you need to do something. So I made them actually, like,
happening around that time.
Yeah, like I didn't know
It's
headaches were
normal.
an age.
thing.
like, yeah. So I
Can't
don't know.
fucking tell.
But at the time, I didn't think, oh, it's because I'm a
Yeah.
black female. I'm just thinking, oh, this person's not taking me serious. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but I'm telling you, I'm having headaches every fucking day. Like, I
It
need
might
you to.
also stem from, I don't know if y'all heard these kind of stories, but like they used to. My grandmother grew up during civil rights. Like, well, not grew up. She was already an adult when civil rights kicked off. So that means she lived through segregation. And she used to tell me like the white dentists in a town would not work on black people's mouths. They would have to go either to the vet, or they would have to go to another town where there was
The
a black.
vet?
Yeah, you heard me right. The vet, like you would take your pet to.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even-
So
The vet.
yeah, and I'm dead ass serious. Like older people who are watching or whatever, they probably already know what I'm talking about. But they used to have to go either to like a vet, or they would have to go to another town further away from them to find a black doctor who would work on their mouth or whatever. So I don't know if it also kind of stems from that, because segregation, let's be real, that's not that long ago. My grandmother's still alive.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? My grandmother only in her 70s, and some of these doctors is in their 70s, 80s. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
60s. So this, it may still be their mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much of it ties into the financial status of what they think black people can afford, as well as some innate racism where I'm not gonna work on a black person. Like I don't wanna, I might treat you, but as far as doing anything extensive for you, I don't have that type of energy for you. I'm just throwing it out there. That might be stemming from that and bringing its way up. And then also you gotta think about it, like a lot of the doctors nowadays are like, you know, Indian or Asian, some type of Chinese or Korean or whatever the case may be, and
It's
they
rare
already
to
have
find.
it's rare to find an American doctor, just American, like
Yeah.
it's rare to find it. And then when you have all these other cultures, they already have their preconceived notions of black people from wherever they at.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
So they bring that into their office with them, and it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just
Right.
giving reasons of
As
what
to
it
why
could
it
be.
happens,
Yeah, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm just speculating on what it could possibly be. But either way, like as black women, we have to take our healthcare into our own
Yeah.
hands and just make ourselves be assertive. Like if a doctor is telling you, no, nothing's wrong with you, and you know deep down, because God bless us with intuition. That's one thing that women have over men, and we blessed with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift. You have the gift of intuition, so you're gonna know if something don't feel right, and don't just take no for an answer. My mother always told me this anyway. I never take no from an answer from nobody who had the power to tell me yes in the first place. So if you couldn't even tell me yes in the first place, like if you couldn't hire me or you couldn't give me that raise in the first place, I'm not listening to your no, because you have no authority. So as a doctor, you don't have authority over my body. I have authority over my body, and I've been in this body for 32 years. You're not about to tell me, oh no, you just overreacting, you'll be all right. Excuse me? First of all, I just paid $35
For the copay.
for the copay,
Yeah.
and a good $200 and something comes out of my paycheck for health insurance.
Yeah. You gonna listen
You
to
gonna
me.
tell me what the hell wrong with me? Run all the tests. Miss, do you want a full workup on your lab? Sure do. Sure do.
Yeah. You kind of have to like own your own health.
Like certain things, like for instance, you go get an STD workup and you say, yeah, I would like to get tested for STDs. And then they turn around and don't test you for HIV, and then they don't test you for herpes. And then you be like, years later, you might find out that you have something and be like, why the hell, how did they miss this? They missed it because if you didn't open your mouth and ask for them to do it that way, they ain't doing it that way.
Not a lot of people know that though.
Yeah.
No, look, taste tips right there. I wasn't even expecting that one. If you're going for HIV testing or any type of STD testing, make sure you ask specifically for which STDs you want to be tested for.
No, you want all of them.
Tell them you want all of them, because if not, they're not testing you
All
for
of
it.
them, yeah.
Insurance charges more for you for them to test you for
They
herpes.
they can only test you for the basics like chlamydia.
Yeah.
You know, like certain viruses that you can get rid of with just the medication, but they're not gonna test you for HIV. They're not gonna test you for
Unless you ask for it.
Yeah, unless you ask for it.
So-
'Cause that's not part of the whole testing. It's like, okay, we're gonna test you from, you know, just regular stuff, but maybe herpes, but not.
No, they ain't gonna test you for herpes.
You have to ask for it.
You have to specifically, and it's not for a fact.
Well, it depends because they'll test. Yeah, you don't have to specifically. Yeah, it depends on what you come in there with. They're like, oh, maybe we should test them for herpes. Like it really just depends. But if you go in there to look for,
I went in there one time, and I swear to God, because I'm extra and dramatic. So in this instance, I kind of see why the doctor reacted the way she did. But I went in there and I was like, oh my God, I know somebody gave me something because I'm feeling these symptoms. And she was like, hold on. Let's go through a checklist of what you've really been doing. So we go through this whole checklist, and she was like, I'm going to do an exam on you just to be on the safe side, but it sounds like a yeast infection. I was like, nah, my whole vagina finna fall out, miss. Like, this ain't no yeast infection. She went, she did her little swabs and all that, and she came back, she was like, you have a yeast infection. I was like, miss, at this point, I don't even care that it's a yeast infection. Could you please test me for everything? And she brought the paper for me to sign, and when I was signing the paper, I read it. And if it wasn't for me reading it, and I never read the papers before, but because I was so freaked out thinking I was going to walk down the street and my uterus was going to fall out, I was like, oh my God, let me read everything. And I read through on what she had checked off to be on the lab. Herpes and HIV was not checked. I said, I'm not signing this. She was like, what's the problem now, Miss Holt? You didn't check these important boxes. She was like, we don't test for that unless it's absolutely necessary. It's necessary because I'm asking you to. And she came back and said, well, your insurance does not cover herpes testing. So would you like to pay out of pocket? I said, yes. Yes, the hell I would. You don't get to tell me no,
Exactly.
thinking that I can't afford it or I'm not going to want it. You can't make that assumption on somebody. Yes, I want to pay the extra $45 to make sure that my vagina don't fall out in the middle of the street or have cauliflower growing out of it. No, I don't want none of that. I will pay $45. Bitch, I'll pay $1,000 to make sure the cooch is right. So I ended up having to come out of pocket to pay for my herpes testing. The HIV was covered, but the herpes was not. So with that being said, from that point forward, whenever I go to the GYN, and whenever I choose my health insurance too, because a lot of people, they just click whatever. Like,
Right, and sometimes you don't know like what's covered up under it.
Like I had insurance one time when none of my lab work was covered. I was so mad, but that was my fault because I didn't do my research. So now, when it's time for me to pick my health insurance, I want to make sure all these things is covered. I want to make sure that if anything happens to me, I'm good. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So. Those are things that you need to look out for. You need to make sure your insurance is tailor-made to fit your life. And you need to be able to say to a doctor without fear, I'm not going for this shit. Y'all need to test me. I'm not laying down for this. So I hope 86% is a huge number. That is huge. 86% of y'all have experienced this, and I'm hoping that 86% of y'all are able to put your foot down and say to these doctors, no, I know my body and I'm not accepting your answer. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Make them put in work. They make a lot of money. Make them work for it.
Right?
You gonna work for me because if I paid you $35, I ain't coming back. You gotta figure this out first go around, baby. Let's figure this out first time around. Let's go. Not doing I know.
Well, I will say my follow-ups, I didn't have to make it for each one.
Well, that's good.
So, she's just like, oh, you're fine.
I was gonna pay for follow-ups anyway because you messed around and didn't give me the test.
Because I was about to say, all my 4 or 5 times, that start adding up.
Right. You gonna reimburse me. Lucky I don't ask for my Uber money back too.
I can't.
You know what? I am done with your
Well, thank God at the time I had a car, but yeah.
I'm just saying, in general,
Yeah.
put your foot down with these doctors, ladies. And men too, because we didn't actually poll men. Y'all ain't go to the damn doctor any day.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of men don't really like going to the doctor.
You know when I'm going to tell you when men go to the doctor. When they dick broke.
Yeah.
If they dick ain't broke, they ain't gone.
Exactly.
I can't.
That's dead ass. I heard old men say, why do you go to the doctor for? Especially Caribbean men too. Why do you go to the doctor for? It's still stand up. Nigga!
That's the only thing you think about?
You only worry about the dick?
You didn't think about nothing else?
And even sometimes with that, some stuff stays dormant in
And you know what's...
you know.
and
That's how prostate
you know what's
cancer
crazy?
takes
That's
so
what I'm about to say.
rampant.
A lot
Yeah.
of men, when they do find out they have prostate cancer, especially black men, they find out way stage 3, stage 4
Yeah.
by the time they find out, because they don't think about it until they're like, oh shoot, something is wrong now.
Because it doesn't like flare up like it does with women. A lot of stuff stays
Yeah.
dormant with men, and
Yeah,
you don't
that's
really
true.
know that it's there because you're not doing.
But
your
they don't go
checks
to
up.
the
Well, you know
doctor
what?
until
A lot of stuff is dormant with women too, but we, for some reason, are more inclined to go to the doctor than the man is. Like, for instance, we go for yearly exams. Men ain't going for no damn yearly exam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't understand that some shit is dormant.
Right. See, we know that because all our stuff is inside. You know what I'm saying? All of our stuff is inside. So we need to go to make sure we ain't got ovarian cancer.
Right,
Or we
exactly.
need to go to make sure we ain't got uterine cysts or
Yeah.
fibroids or whatever the case may
Right,
be, or
true.
breast cancer. We already know that our shit lies dormant. So we're more
Yeah.
likely to go to the doctor for it. Men, I'm telling you, if they dick don't work, that's the only time if it's not
they
something.
think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or if it's in jeopardy or not working. I'll be like, y'all let that thing, it'll practically fall
Oh,
off.
fall off
Right?
before y'all even go to the doctor. It be hanging.
We walk around with a whole 2 belly buttons.
I
Wait.
With a dick in the bag.
Wait.
Talking about fix it.
Wait.
Really?
2 belly buttons.
Yeah, cause the dick gonna fall off. There's just gonna be a hole there.
I can't. All right.
Alright. So,
Sorry guys, I had energy today.
you did. Alright.
Let's get into one of these next topics. We don't want to bore y'all to death with all this medical talk.
Yeah.
Just make sure y'all stick to y'all guns when it comes to these doctors, please. Please don't let them tell y'all whatever.
Don't take no for an answer.
Right, let's go.
If you feel like there's something off.
If you went there in the first place, that means you felt like something is off. So don't let them tell you otherwise. Let them run all the tests that they need to run, do all the work that they need to
So
do.
you can be sure
Because we want y'all to be live every Monday
and help.
from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So
From 7 p.m. to 8.
make sure these doctors are on point. We need y'all.
When she said live, I'm thinking alive.
No.
She's talking about live on the show.
Yeah, watch us live.
I can't.
Oh,
Anyway.
man.
We got some
Alrighty,
tea.
so-
Yo, let's do some tea.
Ain't really so much spilling tea. It's just some comedy that been going on.
Some comedy.
That been going on.
Y'all celebrities is wild as fuck. I love
They
it.
barely celebrities.
D-list celebrities.
I'm just saying.
Whoa,
Anyway,
what's
so
the tea?
what's some tea? So everybody know Tommy from Love and Hip Hop,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
That's
I mean, I don't know if everybody knows, but it's, you know, this girl Tommy from Atlanta. So she got locked up a few days ago. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday. She got locked up from smashing her daughter's head in the locker.
Wait, from smash because she smashed her daughter's head in the locker.
Where she mushed her daughter's head
in
into
the
a
locker.
Okay.
I really,
The daughter didn't get any kind of damages
why was Tommy at the school for her daughter?
because her daughter was acting up. So it wasn't like she was going there to beat up her daughter.
She might have been going there to beat up her daughter.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
mean-
showing your ass at them people's school? I'll come
Yeah.
in there and bust your ass.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And the thing is,
I don't see the problem
I've
here.
been seeing some funny videos like this girl's like, y'all acting like y'all parents never came to beat your ass at school. And I'm like, it's kind of true. I mean, my parents never came and beat my ass at school. But I seen parents,
My mother used to come to the school with a whole 2x4.
Yeah,
And you better
think
be in
about,
class.
you know, like when you were the time frame
She's-
when you were in school.
but the
and now,
thing is,
times have
she's
changed.
known. I feel like that's the only reason why she got locked up. Because she been locked up so many times. They're like, okay.
No, the reason that she got locked up is because she hit her daughter in the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So faculty by law has to report that.
Yeah.
So that's why she got locked up. What she should have did was she should have waited till she got the heifer in the car.
Right.
Yeah, or at home or something and beat her
Right,
ass.
and be her ass at home.
Yeah. 'cause-
But I could see how that could easily go left. Like you go to say something to your child. She's in junior high school, so you know she flip at the mouth. And if she's
Yeah.
anything like her mother, you definitely
wild.
know she flip at the mouth.
'Cause
She may
some-
not even be wild. She might be a calm kid, but I doubt that she don't have that mouth. You know what I'm saying? She might have mouth back on her mother and whoop, bloop. That's it.
Bloop.
I'm just saying.
Push her right in the
She
locker.
might have just mushed her and she didn't realize how
Yeah.
hard she mushed her and boom, she hit her head on the back, on a locker or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like that's a This is what I think.
When I read the article, I laughed.
I laugh too.
I laughed. It's not like
I thought it was because of something else.
What you thought it was for?
Well, she, like,
Yeah, she get
always
locked
in
up for
jail.
fighting
She's
people.
always assaulting.
so you
put
thought-
her hands on somebody. So it was
I
just
forgot
like,
she was a mom. How many times she got locked up? Cause I'm like, how the fuck you get locked up so many
Well,
times?
I guess the lesson with her would be she needs some anger management or something because the times have changed.
I
from
don't
when we were
know.
in
She got
school.
locked up,
There
what,
used to
30
be a time
times
in
in her
school
life?
when teachers could spank you.
No.
That
Well,
doesn't happen anymore. Like,
I don't know, because I grew up in a time where you could call BCW or DCF or whatever, ACS, whatever. I don't know what's
I mean, you probably could, but still, the mindsets of people are changing.
I don't know.
It's different.
I don't think that's all the way true. I think back when we was kids, it was the same way. I think for my like our mother's generation, yeah.
Maybe that might have been it.
Not
Yeah.
for me.
Really? I called DCF on my mother so fast. I didn't mean to. I didn't know they was going to call DCF on. I just went back to school. She beat me for stealing 50 cents off her dresser.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home with a bag of candy. Remember when they had like penny candy? Y'all might be too young for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the corner stores in New York, they used to have like penny candies or candies for like a nickel or whatever. So
Yeah,
when I saw,
yeah, 5-cent candies.
Yeah.
Why do you call it penny candy?
because they used to be a penny before they was 5 cents.
Oh, I remember it's 5 cents,
Yeah.
but it was like Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, little
or
Reese's
little
cups. Yeah.
yeah.
So I saw these 2 quarters. Mind you, I was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I saw these 2 quarters. And I was like, ooh, do you know how many penny candies I could get with this? So I took the 2 quarters. And I came home with 2 bags full of this candy, and I'm happy, smiling ear to ear with this motherfucking candy, right? Mom said, "Where did you get all that candy from?"
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "The store." And she said, "I didn't give you any money today." I said, "I found it." She said, "Well, where did you find it?" I said, "I found it on your dresser." Go get the belt. What did I do? Like, I legit did not understand what I had done wrong. And my mom beat me in my hands, right? With a belt. She beat me in my hands with this belt. And when I went to school the next day, my hands was slightly swollen. So my teacher said, "Shantae, why didn't you do your homework?" And I said, "Well, I got a beating last night and my hands was kind of swollen. So I didn't finish my homework." So the teacher, this white lady, freaked the fuck out. "Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do they hurt you at home?" I was like, "Hell yeah."
You know what?
They beat me all the time. I stay getting a beating. So she pulls me into this bathroom and she's like, "Do you have marks anywhere?" I was like, "Yeah, I got stripes on my legs." I'm showing her my little belt marks, so my mother done tore my ass up for stealing. They pulled me in the principal's office, me and my older stepbrother. And my brother is like 5 years older than me. So if I'm 6, he's like 11. So he's like my boy's age. So he's smart enough to know that you're not supposed to tell people that you get beatings at home. I wasn't that age. So we sitting down with the principal and he's like, "Do you get physically disciplined at home?" So I'm like, I don't even know what he's saying. And my brother's like tapping me like, "Don't answer none of these fucking questions." Like he tapping me and I'm like, "Stop tapping me." And the people like, "Okay, let's rephrase it. Do you get spankings at home?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah." And my brother's like, "No." Who you sitting up in this principal office and you lying? Daddy just beat you 2 days ago when you ain't come back with the bike on time. Like, you just got a beating. He was like, "Yo, like,
Shut up!
shut up." Like, and I'm like, "Why is he tapping me?" I really did not understand. So, long story short, DCF ended up coming to my house and they threatened to take me away from my mom for that. And my mom had to tell them, she was like, "Listen, these is my kids. And they're not going to nobody's jail. If I don't spank them now, she stole from me. If I don't spank her now, the justice system will be spanking her ass later. So, if you could find a better family for her, you could find a parent doing a better job than me, I'll go upstairs right now and pack her bags and y'all can take her." The cop was like, "Just don't leave marks next time."
Just
And
don't leave marks. I can't. No, I didn't have a problem. My teachers
That's
were
where
like,
your kids
"Look
get it
how
from,
long they do
Shantae."
got spankings."
Huh?
All of that.
I said that's where your kids get it from, Shantae.
Yeah, that's a fact. My kids is mouthy like me. Aaliyah would have been the one in there like, "Shut up, don't say nothing." No, mommy don't beat us. Like, no, we don't get beaten. But I didn't know. I really legit didn't know. I was just like, first of all, I done got a whooping for stealing, and I didn't even know I was stealing. I thought I found it. All she had to say was, "You can't find stuff in some other people's room." That's all she had to say. She had to beat me for that shit. She told my ass to fuck up. And then my mom used to have this rule: if you like do like this when she whooping you, then you get it from the rooter to the tutor. Now the rooter to the tutor means that you, wherever the belt land at this point, that's where the hell you getting a whooping. So what started out as me just, I done got tore the fuck up over this 50 Cent. So, and she took my candy. All of that was extra. You could have took my candy and just said, you can't find it. That's not how.
Right.
You beat me, took my candy, and packed my bags for DCF to take me. Like, you was ready to go.
I can't.
But that's
I just
what
know
was-
nowadays you just have to be more careful because like the teachers I had were more so like around my mom's age, and I didn't have Caucasian teachers. I had black teachers, so they were all like old school as well. I remember I used to sit by my math teacher's desk if I was like talking too much or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they pull you right up there.
Yeah, like
I was
they-
sitting.
they knew. They if
Yeah,
anything
me
they
too. They be like, Johnny, come
Mrs.
sit over
Sarah?
here.
you know
Come sit over here. I be like, all right, I
They
know.
knew. Wasn't calling no protective services B. Like,
But you know
Well,
what?
that was just for. I'm just.
I had one black teacher, and I love that lady, God rest her soul. I had one black teacher. She was
I
my
didn't have
second
black
grade
teachers.
teacher, and she told my mother in the beginning of the school year, if you don't want me to whoop your child's ass, put her in another class. Request another teacher. Because if she's in my class and she misbehaves in my class, I'm tear her ass up. And she meant that shit. She used to have rulers on the desk.
'Cause think
So when you
about
get in
it.
trouble, you have to pick your ruler.
Yeah.
when I was in school, I barely had a teacher that was young. All of my teachers were older. So they had those mindsets of
That
you know
old
what I'm saying?
school.
At those old school mindsets.
These
of
younger
how
teachers-
now it's different.
Yeah. Well, I did have a black teacher. She was my 5th grade teacher, Miss Johnson, and she was real hood though. But the thing is, she made me become really good at math. Like she was so. That's what like I loved math from her because she was so hood, but like she used to teach that math.
And
like
you could understand
I'd be
it.
like, yo, this teacher's lit. Like she was like, yeah. Yo, I seen her like after. It was crazy. I seen her when I went back to New York. I'm like, yo, Miss Johnson. and I'm like, I like 18. I'm like, yo, Miss Johnson, what's up? She's like, oh, Jamaica. Like she, you know, because I was the crazy child. But I always used to pass every test. Like she taught like math and some other subject, but she was lit. She was like one lit ass teacher. But like anything like that I misbehaved, she was never telling my mom. She was like, listen, it's gonna be between me and you, but you need to get it together. Like she would never like, oh, I'm gonna go tell your mom. Like them bitches when I was in 2nd, 3rd grade always want Miss Ryan. That bitch got me tight. My mom told me how that bitch used to get me tight. Like Miss Ryan, I used to tell my mom like, yo, this lady is getting me mad. Like this lady's getting me mad. My mom was like, oh, you just gotta go. Like I remember one time like we missed school because my aunt had passed away. This bitch gonna tell my, well, you're gonna get left behind. What? I went and told my mom this story. I said, Mom, we gotta go up to the school. She gonna leave me behind for auntie dying. My mom was like, nah, we gotta go. Miss Wright, I fucking hated that bitch, but that's another
Oh
story.
goodness.
Yo,
That's another story.
No lie,
But-
I had this one teacher. She was my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Hoffman. I'll never forget that bitch.
She was
Oh my
Spanish.
goodness.
No, Hoffman, she was.
Aren't they slinging this B word around with these teachers?
I'm gonna tell you what she
like
did
that?
to me. I'm gonna tell you what she did to me in the
I'm just
3rd
saying.
grade. So my mom used to cornrow my hair real pretty, right? So this particular hairstyle I had, it lasted like a good week, maybe almost 2 weeks, and it was cute. I really liked it. So when my mom kept saying, you know, take your braids out, I was like, no, it's not frizzy yet. Like it's just still
cute.
look cute. Like I'm still getting compliments. Chill.
I'm still getting compliments.
So this lady pulled me up in front of the class
I can't stand you.
and said to me in front of the whole class, and this is a time where I'm living in Bay Ridge. You already know what Bay Ridge is like. It's all, this neighborhood in New York is like all Irish and Italian people. There's not many of us.
Yeah.
It's very rare. And the ones of us that are there usually come from the military base down the street. So it's not a lot of just civilian black kids. So I was a civilian black kid at this time. I get to the front of the class and she takes a pen and does my hair like this. Your hair can't possibly be clean with these things in it.
Oh, nah. Nah, she's a bitch.
I was
She's
like,
a bitch.
I was like, I'm clean. And
My
she
shit's
was like,
popping.
right. I'm like, I'm clean. What are you talking about? She was like, there's no way. I'm gonna write a note to your mother.
No.
I'm gonna write a note to your mother to take your tell her to take those things out of your hair. I said, please write the note. Because at this point, I'm like, if I go home and tell my mother this story, my mother's gonna come up here and beat this old lady ass. She's going to fuck her up. So
She's going to fuck her up.
She is. So when I got home, I gave my mother the note. And I was like, Ma, before she even read the note, I told her what was going on. I was like, Ma, this lady said my hair ain't clean because I got braids. She was like, that lady ain't say that. Don't exaggerate. I was like, she wrote you a note. My mother opened the note and was like, this bitch, she done lost her goddamn mind. My mother went up to that school and spazzed. And the staff was like, y'all gotta excuse her because she's like in the beginning stages of dementia, I guess. So I guess all the racist shit from her past
It's
was coming back up. Bitch, don't regurgitate that on me.
Oh,
My mother was like, I am coming for her job. If I have to go to the school board, I am coming for her job. I don't want my child.
If she got early stage dementia, she should not be a
working
teacher.
exactly.
Come
She
to
should
find
not
out,
work there no more.
it was her last year before retirement. And if my mother would have pressed the issue, she was going to lose her pension. She was going to lose all that. My mother's soft party. She better than me. I'd have been like, and the bitch need to watch her mouth. Oh, well.
Right?
All these years you've been teaching black kids and now you want to
Yeah.
backslide? Nah, man. No.
I don't even care. No
I don't even
more.
care no more at this point. But my mother, she's a Christian woman. That's a good Christian
Talking
woman.
about hair and shit. I ain't tell you the story when somebody came. We was in Target, me and Jameer, and somebody Jameer hair out. This lady gonna ask, white lady of course, can I touch your hair to Jameer? She ain't speaking to me. Jameer said, no. Jameer was like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. He was making like, that lady was about to like take him and said, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
He should
First
throw a
of all-
whole fit.
First of all, he don't let nobody touch his hair.
I was
One.
gonna say it's Jameer.
He don't let nobody touch his hair. And then two, why are you asking this boy, a little 2-year in a cart, to touch his hair?
You shouldn't be.
You shouldn't even be talking to my son. And she looking at me, I'm like, why are you even talking to him? Like, why are you talking to him?
You should have yelled, stranger danger.
He's like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. That boy was
She
upset.
probably thought he was gonna be like the little, no, not Jameer.
No, don't touch his hair.
The little, oh hi, you know.
She got that one kid.
Not Jameer.
I can't.
That's
Oh,
funny.
So you got to talk about the 12-year-old pregnant girl? I think a lot of people seen this picture because I seen a few posts about her like she's smiling, she's pregnant.
So is this more tea?
This ain't
What's-
even.
this
This
not
ain't
even
even
tea.
tea.
So what is this?
This
I
is.
don't know.
This is some bullshit. That's what it is.
Okay, what's the bullshit?
Yeah.
There's a picture that's going viral on Facebook. I don't know.
Just social
I haven't.
media in general.
Yeah,
I
social
haven't
mean.
seen
I haven't
it,
seen it
but-
on Instagram, but I don't be on Instagram.
I haven't seen it at all.
This young girl is 12 years old with child. Like,
Smiling, taking. I see other pictures besides that picture you said. I seen other ones.
she going with her pregnancy, honey.
But the thing is, I can't find her actual social because she's actually putting. Obviously, she's putting it up. It's like
What I'm trying to figure
I'm
out.
trying to figure out who.
Okay, this hit close to home for me because
And
I
her dad's
have
supposed
an
to be
11-year-old.
14.
The dad is 14.
Yeah, the dad's supposed to be 14. Yeah.
Y'all ain't watching y'all kids. Where the hell was they having sex at?
12, pregnant.
So I'm just trying to, because I have an 11-year-old. And my sister was laughing at me today. One of my sisters in Atlanta was laughing at me just today because I said, oh, the house phone is ringing. And she was like, it's 2018. You really got a house phone? And I said, hell yeah. That way, when my kids come home from school, I know that they're actually in the house because there's no way to call me from the house phone if you ain't in the house.
Right.
True.
And if you're not calling me by a certain time, I'm sending somebody to the house to come find your ass. Because where the hell you...
Right.
It's 4:30. You're supposed to be home at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where are these kids having sex at 11 and or 12 and 14. Who house
But a
y'all
lot of
was in?
these boys' parents too let them, boys have little girls over and they don't really send it because it's their boy son. A lot of parents be like that too. So if they got parents that let their child go outside the house, oh yeah, you could go to Tanya's house, and they don't go to Tanya's house, They going to somebody else's house. They going to the boy's house. And some parents don't look at, oh, let me drop you off to Tanya. Some parents like, oh yeah, you could go there after school.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. That's how they get.
Not only that,
I don't know
I
about
know,
that.
I know girls when I was
do
growing up
stuff
was
at school.
Yep, true.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard about, even
You
when
right.
I was in school.
You right.
That's what I'm saying. When
'Cause
I was in
I
school,
went
I
to-
know this girl proudly said when I was in 6th, 7th grade,
And even
I'm having
before
sex.
us, yeah.
Like, she proudly said that shit.
You right about
And
that.
I'm just like, oh.
There were a couple people when I was in middle school who were pregnant at the time.
But see, I don't think I experienced that because I went to Catholic school and
It was this girl, Justine.
My
Everybody knew
mom
she
had
was
my
just going
eldest
around.
sister at 14. So it's not.
And then the thing is, her mother knew, so it was just a fucked up family. Her mother knew. She was just like, oh, my daughter doing her. I guess she was getting money. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But that was another story.
Yeah.
One girl got pregnant at 14. She had another kid before she turned 18. So it was a whole bunch of shit.
well, to answer Brian's question, because he said she's 12, will she be safely able to carry that baby all the way to birth? Okay, so here's the funny thing about it. Once a woman starts her period,
Yeah. She can.
she can become a
She
mother.
can
That's
hold the
really the
baby.
purpose.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, her pregnancy is probably safer at 12
Then
than
I was
mine
just-
would be
I
at
was just about to
35.
say that.
Or even at 25.
Or yeah, I mean, your body is
It's
technically
smaller.
made to have babies young because you are already born with all the eggs that you're gonna produce throughout life.
Right.
You're born with all.
So if you have your,
So-
a lot of females will have their period at 9.
I had mine at
10.
10.
I had mine at 10.
I had
Yeah.
mine at 9. So at that time, once you have your period, your body is ready
To become a mother.
to become a mother. It's crazy
It's
to
risky.
think about
It's
at
crazy.
9 and 10,
Yeah.
but because your body's still not like at its full.
Right, you haven't developed fully and all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
But think about it, back in those times, that's the reason why they
People
got
was
it. They would, take in, teenage girls or whatever, once they reached a certain age or like you
They
said, got
will
their
have
period or
kids.
whatever. I mean, it's not something that
I seen
happens
like an old back in the
or
day picture
accepted
too.
today, but
And it was girls that was at that age that was just pregnant. It was normal then. So it's like, shit like that.
Yeah, see, the thing about a woman's body is literally we're built to handle childbirth. So our body is going to change, it expands, it does all kind of weird, freaky shit that you really wouldn't think of a 12-year-old going through. I would be more concerned. I'm not more concerned about her physically. I'm more concerned about her mentally.
yeah.
Because that, first of all, I was an adult when I had kids.
And I still wasn't just like,
And I was not prepared for everything.
at 12, especially
Postpartum.
not.
That's the thing.
She might think it's just a thing.
I'm trying to figure out how this girl gonna finish school, who
It's a
gonna
trend for
babysit
her.
this baby. If you make it too easy on her, she's susceptible to have more kids back to back like that in the future. If you make it too hard on her, she may just not succeed in life. Like there's so many aspects to it that go into it for me, and I'm just like, I could not imagine
Yeah.
next year Aaliyah coming to me and saying, "Mommy, I'm pregnant."
Nah.
What?
Nah.
First of all,
We jumping the guy
that's fact. If he lives.
if he lives.
If he lives, because I'm pretty sure all the men in my family would kill him. But even just the kind of conversations, because as parents, we have to have conversations with our kids about sex.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
nobody wants to. It's awkward. It's weird.
But you got to.
But you have to. Now,
And
I-
make it comfortable, not like.
personally,
what you
I
doing over
did
there?
it the way that I did it in steps. So it started out when they was really little that I would tell them, make sure nobody touches your no-no zones, and they knew what they no-no zones was.
Yeah.
Then as they got a little older, they started asking, okay, how did we get here? Okay, you was in mommy's stomach. You make a little cutesy. Oh, you was in mommy's belly, whatever. But then they get older and they ask, well, how the hell did we get in your belly? So I had to explain that.
Yeah.
Aaliyah took it well. The boys did not. They was like, we need to call our father and have a conversation. He did what to you? We're not okay with this. And I was like, well, you're here. So you kind of need to call your dad and actually say thank you.
We're not okay with
Yeah,
this.
my dad did what? Now I don't go into, of course, I don't tell him like no full blown details like, oh, I was dating your dad for this and we did that. I don't tell him no
My
full
leg was
blown.
up in the air.
Right, he was hitting from that. No, I don't tell him all of that. I just tell him like, I tell him very textbook scientific stuff, and then follow whatever questions they have. Then I follow it up.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I make sure I stress to them though is that having a baby is really not the worst thing that can happen to you with having sex.
Yeah.
A baby, no matter what, is a blessing. So
It's the other stuff
it's
that
the other stuff
that comes that
can come with it
Yeah.
that you can't get rid of for the rest of your life and things like that. So to me, I feel like that is my biggest concern. But after seeing that picture,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start stressing to mine. You need to be, if you're gonna be out there doing anything, there's protection. Come to me.
Right.
Come to me, because they're gonna do it regardless. What age they choose to do it at is completely dependent upon them. But at least I want to know that if I'm sending my kids out here into this world and they're gonna make that decision, I want it to be an informed decision. I want it to be a safe decision, and I want them to have a safe place to come to if they need to talk.
That's all you can do.
I mean, you can't do nothing else because you can't
Yeah.
stop them.
Because, you know, I know somebody that was like that. Like I said, in middle school, she was pregnant or whatever. It's her only child ever, though.
So that's what I said. It could go one or
Yeah,
two ways.
She, you know,
Well, then.
she's doing well. You know, he's doing well. No. He's not your age.
Don't come for my friend.
You
She
said
said
We
they
ain't
was
that
in middle
middle
school.
school.
But we're not
11?
that old.
We're not that much older than you. Don't come for us.
I said middle school. I didn't say what
I
age
never
she
said
was.
the exact age is my age, but
I
they
was
probably-
10 in 5th grade. So you don't know, like, by the time I hit high school, I was 14. So I didn't say what age. He is not your age. He is not an adult at all. But
You're probably a teenager.
yeah, he's the only child she's ever had. She's doing well.
Oh,
He's
okay.
doing well. And,
Well
you know,
then,
yeah.
I thought-
So
I thought you meant like 20-something years old.
no,
Because middle school starts at 11.
It depends.
exactly.
Not necessarily. It depends on when your birthday and all that falls and what
That's
state
true.
you live in.
I guess, yeah, that's
You
true.
gotta take all that stuff into account.
And I never
True.
said the 6th grade. So,
But I knew somebody else having sex in 6th or 7th grade.
but anywho,
Anyway, it's the end of the show. Hattie came for me.
how did Hattie come for her when she's the one over here implying that I'm ancient? So we're just gonna keep it moving
Nobody
and close
said
down
you
the
was
show because
ancient.
her child is not her age. She's 24.
If she coming for Hattie Asia, she coming for mine too. Because 86
So
was a very
we're just
good
gonna
year.
let her think that, and we're gonna close the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. Let's hear some of those confessions.
Get those confessions in, guys. We're gonna post the link and stuff, so if y'all want to do it anonymously, you'll
Yeah.
be able to. If you don't care about that, we got a Facebook page. You're more than welcome to drop some things there. Inbox us on the Facebook page if you don't care about anonymity. But yeah, we want those confessions so we can do something with it next
All
year.
right.
Y'all be
Bye,
blessed.
guys.
Have a good night. Bye.